Welcome to On the Edge with April Mahoney Brains. Here, this is the spot where the conversations are pointed, the guests are sharp, and the responses are never dull. Did you bring your thinking caps? Because it's time to put them on. Because the conversation starts now. Where the conversation is pointed, the guests are sharp, and the responses are never dull. We're going to talk to her about healing the physical body. We talk about the mental body and the spiritual, but you know what? As you get older, those joints get tight. You lose elasticity. I know the other day I did a yoga class, just my own made up yoga class and some music, and I felt wonderful. But it's how you need to be consistent. You are a woman of, you recovered from a brain tumor, didn't you, when you were in college?
I did. Yes. I had surgery actually twice, just 3 years ago again. So,
Jennifer, welcome.
April, thank you.
How are you?
Good. How are you today?
I'm good today. Glad to see you.
Nice to see you.
You look well.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You do too.
Thank you. What you been doing today so far?
Oh, I just finished teaching a class.
Oh, what you teaching on?
I taught it on the face, the jaw, and the tongue to release the neck. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Really? The face, the jaw. Well, you know what? That's perfect for a couple reasons. I was thinking something perverted at first, but
you did that last time.
No,
you didn't. No, you didn't. That was something different. Okay.
What did I do? I'm always doing something.
It was the healthy joints that you made the joke on.
Right. Because
anyway,
I like to feel good. Hell, but yeah. I had TMJ. Oh my God. I didn't think I would ever be right again.
Yeah.
And that I had a woman on my show. Her name is Sandy. She's a sound healer. And I just let go of all my tension, my anxiety. I trusted in the sound. And I tell you, it shifted. And I was jacked up like a soup sandwich.
Yeah. Did it stay quite a bit?
Yeah, I haven't had it back.
Wow.
I have not had it back. Yeah. And
fabulous.
And I was just like, she said, well, let's try this. And I said, okay. I sat here for about 45 minutes, and just really let my mind go and focus and breathe in that area. So you're going to share with us a little bit about that experience. And what is the NLP? What's the conversation that you're having in your head now that keeps you focused and keeps you on the right trajectory? And you help people with distant healing. So Brains, you don't have to be right there in the room. She got a skeleton in there. She can just point out what you need and send you some love vibrations and get you in that mood. She's going to get us in the mood right now. Hi, Jennifer. Welcome.
Hi, April. Thank you. Good to see you.
Good to be seen. That's what I say.
Yes, I've got my teacher and my co-teacher in the background. Yeah.
What's your co-teacher's name?
Freddie.
I like to name my stuff too. I name my car and, I like that, because then it gives it a personality. That energy actually picks up and resonates. Everything, Brains, has energy, down to this pencil on my desk. Everything. I talk to my plants, talk to your animals, you talk to your subconscious mind. Who are you talking to these days? Who's your ideal client?
My ideal client are people who are looking to stay younger, to basically not avoid the aging process, but to age gracefully. There's this myth that we are going to have to be in pain and stiff when we get old, and there's nothing we can do about it. And there is, and I can teach people how to stay youthful and age gracefully so that they still feel young.
But you know what? It was effortless back then, just running and going and being at the club till the lights came on, walking to the store, all those things were different. When you become a particular age, you got to put the effort behind the Brains. You ain't got a damn thing else to do. You retired.
You have to make a routine, yes, to keep that body. It's not a one-time thing. It's like going to the gym every week, doing a yoga class. I think of what I do as a great precursor to yoga to help enhance the awareness and to help release any struggles that you're feeling in a yoga class. If you're not getting the twist just right, I can
You
teach
know
you
what I
how to
found,
get
and
the
this is
twist.
yoga is preparation for meditation. Firstly, okay, so you are connecting with the breath, the energy source, and the movement of the body. If you breathe into that and relax in anything that you do, it's the breath work. It is the breath work, I do believe. The skeletal, the mental, the respiratory, the elimination, all of that has to do with your breathing. And so, do you coach a lot of breathing techniques in your modality? And explain to us exactly what your modality is.
Right. So I'm a movement specialist based on the work of Dr. Feldenkrais. And what I do is I teach people how to move like a child again. We go from the building blocks of movement, very gentle movements to start that build up into bigger movements to help us function more. And yes, breath is included. I don't teach a proper way to breathe. I teach multiple options of breathing. And our brain is intelligent. Our nervous system is intelligent enough that once we provide the options of breathing or even moving, our brain chooses what's best for us in any given moment.
Mhm.
So having
Yeah,
that
so
large repertoire of movement plans
like when you're gasping for air, it tells you, yeah, you know, air, exactly. Or when you're just exasperated and tired, you take that long exhale.
Mm-hmm. Or
Okay.
motions or bending over or reaching up. When do you inhale? When do you exhale? We practice those in
Okay.
slow time so that when you're having to react quickly, all of that is there ready for you to just function optimally.
Now, how is this parallel or in contrast to physical therapy?
For the most part, it's a more gentle approach. So a lot of my clients who come from physical therapy come to me and say, wow, I feel better without having to go through the pain.
Right.
So, it's a less pain, more gain approach.
Okay. All
If you're
right.
having pain, I want to find a different way to do it so that we can get you doing what you want without the pain. I'm not going to reinforce a pain pattern to help you feel better. That's counterintuitive.
Yeah, I know, because I know I've come from physical therapy, and they get stingy now. They used to give you the electrolysis and a little heat. You got to go home and do that yourself.
Right.
Uh, but it's kind of grueling, and it's a turnoff. It doesn't encourage you to do it. But if I find two or three things, I'll do that the rest of my life. And I try to change my movement. I don't try to always do stretches. I try to move all the different bodies, all the different parts of the body. Do you deal with the fascia?
I deal with the fascia because it's all connected. That's my
Okay.
best answer for that one.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Good.
So when I'm doing hands-on work, certainly my gentle approach gets that fascia softened up and reconnected through the whole body. But the movements I teach people are so gentle and precise to start with that yes, it does invite that fascia to loosen even without having to be touched.
Okay. Well, give us a demonstration in between you and Fred. Stand over there and just give me like a gentle movement that I could practice, two or three that my brains could practice in the comfort of their own home.
Sure. So a great one for shoulders, which is a common thing. How's this for my lineup here?
We are about to have a demonstration. Jennifer is going to show us some gentle movements that we can incorporate in our everyday life to be more flexible, to breathe better, and stress less. Take the floor, Jennifer.
This is one of my favorites for people with shoulder pain. Now, I always adapt these movements for people to do comfortably. Some people can't have their hands out to their sides, but if you can, with gentle fists, it's just a movement of turning your fists up towards the ceiling, the palms in the direction of the ceiling, and then towards the floor. And what this does is it gets your shoulder blades moving. That is it, just like that. You got it. Yep. Just like this.
Like when you're putting the screws to somebody's brains.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, think Frankenstein. And then I'm going to reach out to the side and look at the fist as it turns upward.
Oh, I felt my neck pop.
And if you aren't comfortable with your arms out here, they could even be all the way down at your side as you do this sort of turning. So you would still be turning your arms, but it
Okay.
would be, down at your side. Some
And
people
Brains, what I want you to know is that I'm doing this seated. So you are still able to incorporate these movements in a seated position. So don't think just because you're sitting at your desk that you can't do some of these exercises.
That's right. Or laying down in bed before you fall asleep. Nice and gentle. If you're feeling strain and pain, go less. It can be this big. It doesn't need to be this big.
Well, let me tell you something. When I'm doing it this big, I feel it in different muscles.
Yes,
And
yes.
it's tighter. How many muscles do they say we have in the body? We got like a gazillion of.
We do. We have hundreds of muscles and
Wow.
206 bones. And all of that, I teach people how to incorporate all of that into everything they do. So we're using our whole self for everything we do to move the most efficiently.
And
And
let me ask the question. I'm doing this, and as I stretched, I felt a pop,
mm-hmm.
which felt really good. It wasn't a strain or anything. But why do our bones creak? Is it the joints there? Because sometimes I wake up and I just feel like a box of Rice Krispies.
Right, right. Gosh, there's so many reasons. Before I tell you though, so the next thing would be to look towards the hand that's going down instead of the one that's going up, and you'll feel a little bit of a difference in your chest and the organization through your head maybe as you do that, compared to when you're looking at the palm that was going up. That helps to reorganize through the shoulder blades and the lower neck. So yeah, the creaking, there's so many different things, there's the fascia can be kind of, the Rice Krispie sound can be fascia crinkling and popping. Air in the joints can make noise.
Oh, okay. All
Uh-huh.
right. Because I just wondered, like, okay, do I need to take more fish oil so I'm lubricated? I drink plenty of water, so I'm hydrated. I love water. That's not an issue for me. But that's what people I get back and forth. When you're doing these type of things, these type of exercises and stretching your muscles, people say be hydrated. But water holds weight as well.
That's right.
So it's a double-edged sword. How much water are you retaining versus you're eliminating, but you want to stay well hydrated. How about distant healing?
So the distance healing is getting into a cellular level as well. So I'm a facilitator to healing. I don't heal people, but I help them connect with their own body through my guidance so that they can power up their own healing, which is what I do with my movement work too. It's
Okay.
the innate ability of humans to heal themselves that I help them tap into. So from a distance, I will put my hands on people. People tell me I can feel you, and that's the whole point. I say, where do you need support? They ask for support at their rib cage.
Mm,
My hands there. I ask them, do you feel me? And we go from there. And people have had profound shifts from not feeling pain anymore to having better posture. I've had clients who have worked with me in person. We do distance healing. They feel similar results to feeling better posture as if I'm there holding them up effortlessly. And
beautiful.
emotions can be processed.
Exactly. Let's
Mhm.
go back a little bit to your story. I recall you telling me that you had a brain tumor in college. Could you share that with my brains?
I did. Yeah. I was studying Western medicine. I wanted to be a brain surgeon, oddly enough.
Wow.
And there I was with this brain tumor. But anyway, through the process of all of that, I decided actually I'm really not into Western medicine as much anymore. I just didn't like the being pushed through the process of not really getting a lot of time with your provider. And I wanted something alternative to help me not have to go through this again as far as the system when I became a professional. So I found the alternative health of this movement specialty that I just did a little demo on, the Feldenkrais method. And when I got diagnosed with my second tumor, I thought, well, wait a second, something's missing here. I got my bones moving great, my body's moving great, but my brain, my cells aren't great. And I knew all about the meditation and how we can use thoughts to heal ourselves, and I came across a neurolinguistic programming teacher who gave me support through my second surgery and helped me to just come to feeling safe and ready to go through the process. So even that was great help. And after the surgery, we worked on positive thinking, affirmations, working with my unconscious, making my health the priority, and just
So you
communicate
got
what
an
do I want,
opportunity.
visualizing.
You got an opportunity to reprogram
I
from
reprogrammed,
scratch.
and the distance healing did the same thing. My surgical pain finally went away. All of this swelling that was still going on, it drained away with the distance healing. Somebody from Michigan was holding my head for me while I'm here in Washington. And later
Wow.
that day, it was all just draining out. And
Wow. That's
I can do that
incredible.
myself now. The cool thing about the techniques I do is that I can do them for myself now. I still love to work with a practitioner one-on-one and get that extra boost, but I have the tools to do it myself and teach people the same thing. So that's the great thing.
And when you're feeling good in your bones and in your body and in your head, that spills over to every aspect of your life. You are a mother and a wife. Going through all of this healing process, what was it that you learned about yourself?
I learned that, well, I learned to slow down
Mm,
and to give myself the time to heal. I gave myself the permission to heal, and in doing so, I was able to give myself more to people, to my loved ones, my family, to my clients. You know, I gave myself the time to really get to my full strength of then being available for other people, but also continuing to honor myself and my needs.
right,
It was
right.
a great balance that came about. Mhm.
So Jennifer, tell us some of the fun things you're doing when you're not, untangling everybody.
Right, right. I love to hike. I love nature. I just love to go sit by a stream on a hot rock and,
Mm,
and look at
that's
the
beautiful.
sky. And
Do
yeah,
you garden at all? I see you got a pretty plant back there. Do you do flowers or
I do
vegetables?
flowers. I've been having a hard time with my vegetables these last couple of years with the weird weather we're having.
Well, I had a bout with a squirrel.
Uh-oh.
He came over from the park. Let me tell you, he would make himself a full on salad. He had lettuce, he'd have some strawberries and some tomatoes with a little basil. I was like, you don't have to pay rent here, fella. So I had my husband go get a cage and catch him. I
Oh
wouldn't
yeah.
kill him. I told him we was down south. I said, you would have been on the grill.
Yeah, yeah, we're rich. We have so many squirrels here. We're charging them rent. We're rich now just from all those
Yeah,
squirrels.
it's just crazy. So if you had three wishes, Jennifer, just random wishes, what would they be?
Random wishes. My first wish for myself is to have the healthiest brain cells and in my whole body, just every cell working optimally. And I tell myself this every day. I just say it every day.
That's beautiful.
And
Do you think that you would be happy living to like 120 years old? What do you think?
if I feel like I do now,
Real?
uh,
Well, exactly.
120, 120. I hadn't quite thought about that.
Yeah, I,
100,
I thought
sure,
about
why
that the
not?
other day because I remember when my mother was transitioning, and I asked her, I said, Mama, I said, how is it being 90? She said, it's the pits. I said, it's the pits. She goes, yeah. She says, I'm tired. And then I said, well, I don't want you to leave me. She said, but imagine if I was the only person left. Or, I look at some of these people that are 110, 115. They have a lot to share, but sometimes it's more about the quality of life than the quantity of life. Wouldn't you agree?
I agree. And as I'm thinking about this, the one awesome thing about living to 120 is I would have time to study everything that I'd want to study because I just cannot stop going to school and taking classes.
That's, what, that's
The
your
next thing
lifelong.
I'm gonna go do is the breath work and more energy healing
But
training.
that's
And
the brain. You're
I have
just,
a long list.
it's a big database now, and you're just sucking it all in because you have a newfound appreciation for that.
And
You
I heal during every part of it and love to share the knowledge with other people to heal from what I learn. Yeah, it's great.
Okay, so I cheated you out of your other two wishes. What are that?
Oh, my other two wishes. Well, speaking of living long enough, I am looking forward to seeing my grandkids graduate. I have four, and I just wish them to have the best education and experience in school and be successful. So that's a big wish. think about that one a lot.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Number 3.
Number 3 is, well, world peace, huh? But,
Well,
you know,
and that, you know what? And that's all subjective. What is,
I know.
yeah, it's peace
Greater love in the world. You know, we need to start thinking about coming from the heart and using that L word, the 4-letter L word, love,
absolutely, absolutely,
and all of
absolutely.
and healing. And, you know, speaking of all of these trainings that I'm doing and classes, we talk about that if we all just come from love and share our loving presence, and if we could all get onto that level, the world would be so much better.
But see, that's why I believe we're going to ascend somewhere else, because this is like the, the leveling field. Because during COVID, I just really went deep inside myself. And it was cool because I love my house. I had no problems. I always had some food and a little cocktail and Netflix. 2 years and had my brains and my radio show. I was going through it. But in those downtimes, when I look at all the people that we lost, see, people don't talk about that. They have for some reason forgotten. It was a pandemic, a world pandemic. We lost what? In the United States, maybe 250,000 people?
Yeah.
It was a bunch. And it was the perfect pause because it was time for self-reflection. It was a time for you to know who your kids are because they was in your house and you couldn't get away from them. Who your spouse really is, what vices you have, or what things you want to change about yourself. So it was really, really intense. And I think it was one of the best things that could happen if people took it seriously. And, you can't forget that, God gives us memory for a reason. So as we move forward,
and it brought a lot of loved ones together with the new technologies, and healthcare got easier with the new technologies.
Could you imagine if we hadn't had a Facebook?
Right.
Or
and this platform we're using right now.
Zoom. It is absolutely it's so convenient because you can have your PJs on from the waist down.
Right.
So, what's one of your favorite meals? What do you like to eat?
I love my greens, and
well, girl, wait. What kind of greens you be eating?
Can you believe it? Well, the other night I had my kale and chard and Brussels sprouts with my farro and some.
Hey, wait, there's some things I'm not familiar with, so let's dial back. Kale, I struggle with kale because I can't get it. I can't get the consistency. It's hard. It's coarse.
This is a special kale that I cannot think of the name. It's this nice, soft, fluffy kale. It's not the coarse stuff. I will send you information.
Send me the information, Brains. I'm going to share with you. Okay. And what else did you say you had?
And the farro, that's a type of grain that I try to get in as many different varieties of non-gluten things that I can. And
okay, so what do you do with it? Do you steam it? You boil it?
Yeah, it's like a rice. It's like a very chewy but bigger grain.
Oh, really? Okay, easy to digest?
Yes.
Okay.
For me, we're all different. I respect everybody's individuality. That's my job.
I don't. Because there's some things I don't like. That's like okra. My mother, to the day she died, tried to make me eat okra, and I just couldn't do it. But when she wanted me to prepare it, I would prepare it like a delicacy.
Because she liked it with her greens. Figured that one out. I don't do okra.
Now, do you do like collard greens or mustard greens or cabbage?
Yep.
Know how to make some good collard greens? Wow, that's it.
Too.
And it's so good. It's full of fire. And you know what I love? The pot liquor. The juice afterwards. Oh, I'll get some cornbread and that'll be, lunch the next day. It is so.
You know what I'm talking about.
It's some good eating there. So if you were an appliance in the kitchen, Jennifer, what appliance would you be and why?
Interesting question. Easy answer though. The oven or the stove, because I love heat.
Bring the heat.
I love heat.
I'd be the air fryer.
You'd be the air fryer? How come?
Because I don't want it greasy. I want easy cleanup. I want it crispy and juicy.
There you go. There you go.
Fryer. So that's a lot of fun. If you were an animal, what animal would you be?
Haha. Kind of along the same lines. I want to be a cat so I can, or a lizard so I can lounge in the sun. I want to be a, when I'm sitting by that river, I imagine I was a lizard in this in a past life, just hanging out on this nice sunny rock, hanging out under the blue sky. A
Wow.
house cat where you can just sit in the window and get, but with a good owner, of course. I have to be very specific about
And
what I wish for. I gotta
your
plan it out.
intention, that's right. Your intention.
That's
I'd be a
right.
party animal
There you go.
all the time. And Jennifer, what do you want your legacy to be?
I want my legacy to be, I admire all of the scientists who are in the forefront of figuring out all of this stuff that I've learned. And I just think it'd be so much fun to, I'm just have this goal of taking all of this stuff I've learned and I'm going to name it my own thing after I've pieced this all together and figured out the best way to put it all together and figure out my name for it so that I can be seen as somebody who helps somebody move better, have better energy, have better emotional and social life with whatever method I decide to name myself. It's going to be just a fabulous. She helped so many people and was always, cheerful, let's say, and
That's right.
really
That's
to
right.
check
And
out the hand.
I know. And Fred agrees. I love Fred in the background. But I'm so glad that you've been here with us. You share some movement with us, movement in more than just the physical way, in the mental way, in the relationship way, in the human way. And that's what we want to do. We want to break it down, make it grassroots, make it easy, make it comfortable, like sitting on a rock by a river.
That's right.
All right. So thank you, Jennifer. Please tell my brains how to get in contact with you if you have any current promotions, a book offering. What are you doing in the world that they need to know about?
My program is called Balance in Motion. It's a whole body approach. It's an online program. You can find out all about it on Jennifer at motionfreedom.com if you want to email me directly. Otherwise, my website is motionfreedom.com.
Motionfreedom.com. Brains, I'm going to put that at the back of the interview. I'm going to run this over and over again. Get up and just stretch. And after you catch those couple breaths, then you go on to Jennifer's website and get more detailed instruction. And then you give her a call and you become her client.
And sign up for my class, Friday class. Every week I teach a class for an hour if you want to know more about what I do.
Wow. Okay. Couldn't get no better than that, Brains. I want you to go in, like, love, share, and subscribe. Please like, love, share, and subscribe to me and Jennifer. Leave us a comment. Leave us a happy face. Talk to you soon, Brains. Bye, Jennifer.
Bye-bye, April.